present time, the State Department of Water Resources has a contract with power suppliers to furnish them energy at a very low rate. This is energy that is supplied to pump water through the state system. This contract must be renegotiated in 1983. We anticipate that the price for energy will increase perhaps tenfold. We're also talking about doubling or tripling the price that we must charge for the water that we provide.
The people who need energy and use it look toward the someday when science brings us power that is relatively cheap, sufficient, and non-controversial. Well, at least this covers the cheap and sufficient part. The San Onofre nuclear plant is being enlarged under the watchful eyes of California coastal authorities. It was the first major nuclear plant built on the California coastline. Nuclear plants generate electric power at a fourth the cost of an oil-fed plant. There's no secret that agencies who supply vital water and power to Southern California feel that nuclear power is essential. When, because of restrictions, nuclear plants can't be built on the coast where they can be cooled by seawater, they must be built inland and cooled by fresh water instead. So the Metropolitan Water District has agreed to supply 50 billion gallons of fresh water a year for several of these plants, which were forced from the coast, all deep inland and none yet built. But efforts are being made to schedule future nuclear power plants back on the coast, where plentiful supplies of water from the ocean can be used for cooling, leaving valuable and scarce fresh water for other uses. If environmental questions remain, the water people are as concerned about them as anybody, if anything, more concerned. They have no wish to damage the Southern California they helped create. But the district that deals with tomorrow also has to deal with today. So the price of delivering water remains geared in an increasing part to the price of electricity. The amount of oil it takes to bring water to Southern California is as much as 5 barrels per year per home. And the barrels of oil are scarcer and scarcer. If we save one, we save the other. If we conserve water, we conserve energy. This tiny drip of water is dictated by the realities of the Southern California situation. And it doesn't mean that anything is going thirsty. The drip irrigation of orchards and fields is a fairly new thing. It is expensive to install, but it saves water the moment it is installed. Plants can be watered individually instead of by the canal method or the sprinkler method. Drip irrigation can save an 800-acre farm more than $40,000 a year in water costs. But not everyone farms 800 acres. Most of us farm backyards and lawns. Half the water used in residential areas goes into greenery, but it doesn't need as much as it gets. Plants need watering. Gutters, driveways, sidewalks, and sewer drains don't. It's estimated that Californians use billions of gallons a year to water gutters, driveways, and sidewalks. Industries are using water more carefully and more gently as its cost rises. In addition, to reduce pollution of the ocean, factories in Los Angeles County are charged more than $30 for every ton of solid waste they cast into the sewer system. For Bell brand foods in Santa Fe Springs, this surcharge is no small potatoes. And the company's way of avoiding it is the essence of simplicity. The water-using operations were consolidated in one portion of the plant, so the peels, cuttings, and washings could be screened out of the wastewater. Instead of costing the company more than $30 a ton, they can be carted off and sold as animal feed. The cleaner the remaining water, the easier it is to reclaim and reuse. Environmental regulations can seem burdensome, but they have advanced the science of water laundering inside industry and out of it. The laboratories of the Los Angeles County sanitation districts monitor the purity of recycled water. It is clean enough now for recreation and farming. Someday it may be pure enough for drinking. And progress in recycling is well out of the test tube stage. The county of Los Angeles now reclaims a tenth of the water that enters its sewer systems. That may not seem like a lot, but it's water that isn't being wasted. All of us are going to have to find ways to save water, not only to save energy, but as a matter of common sense. Things around the house do use a lot of water. A family of 4 uses 360 gallons a day. A family of 4 doesn't have to. 50 gallons a day can be lost through leaking faucets. Water stored in a refrigerator is colder than letting the tap run. Don't wash laundry or dishes until you have a full load. Letting water run while you shave is energy and water down the drain. Save 5 gallons for every minute you don't spend in the shower. Doing this can save a family up to 10 gallons a day. This is an amazing water-saving device called a broom, which can be used instead of a hose. There's another water-saving invention called a bucket. While it's civilized to take water for granted, it's uncivilized to take it entirely for granted. What you're looking at may seem like a dreadful way to teach children water conservation. Fresh water is being splashed indiscriminately every which way, and some is evaporating on the pool decks, but more is landing on heads and torsos. There are many uses for water and many wastes of it, but when you're young and the day is hot, this is not a waste of it. As the needs of California and other states of the West change, new sources of water may be needed, perhaps much sooner than we think. It's not known where they'll be found, but the water people have to give technology time to find them. The source may be the sea, with the energy coming from the sun or the atom, as impossible as that might sound. But in the last half-century, the Metropolitan Water District has planned for and brought 7 trillion gallons of water to Southern California, as impossible as that still sounds. As one contribution to civilization in general, our civilization got us to Mars by means we can hardly understand. The strongest hint that Mars might have life on it is that Mars once had water on it. That we can all understand.